feel, Lex Bubble?
I'm good.
Lawrence, how do you feel?
That might be the only time you've ever called me Lawrence.
Really?
Yeah.
I've called you.
Like, as much as I use Lawrence now.
I've called you Lawrence.
No, you have that.
Yes, I have.
All right.
No.
Only one asked me the question, why did you change your name to Lawrence?
Yeah.
As if that wasn't my name already.
I did ask you like that ain't your name.
Yeah, like
that is.
I'm still gonna call you LG or Larry, but they can.
Yeah,
why did you change your shit to Lawrence?
My name Clay. I'm named Clay. But it's the. Did you see the Cameron? Yeah, the Cameron Lawrence Fishburne story.
Yeah, bro, that shit's fucking
funny,
man.
He's like, don't whatever you do when you see Lawrence Fishburne, don't call him Larry. He don't like that shit. Even his name Lawrence. But Cam is such a street nigga. He goes, I was trying to be cool, and my mans that was with me was just pressing his button. Just couldn't help himself. Kept calling him Larry. And then finally, Lawrence Fishburne was acting up. He said, so finally, fuck that nigga. That nigga's name is Larry.
Oh. Cameron is one of the best at telling stories.
Cam is hella funny, bro. Oh, man. Let's do it. Check.
Heard Joe was looking for me.
It's the Meet the Brave podcast. Oh, that is not how we start our show. Today's episode of the Meet the Brave podcast is powered by Northwest Pizza and Pasta, where if you think the pizza is good, try hands down the best wings in the valley. Nobody, and I mean nobody, does wings like NWP. Order now online for takeout delivery, and this joint is opening back up. So go pull up on your folks, man. Tell them the Meet the Brave podcast sent you, and probably turn the pod on while you like enjoying it. Is that weird to eat pizza and listen to the podcast? Nah.
I like to think it's wet and wet.
Okay. Yeah.
Niggas eat the pizza and watch a movie.
Listen to us, because we're making a movie. I see what you did there. I like what you did there. Okay. Today's episode of the Meet the Brave podcast is also powered by Uplifters, black-owned domino company that recently dropped their brand new show, The Winning Formula, executive produced by Meet the Brave podcast very own Alexius Franklin of Let's Bubble Productions. Hit up Uplifters right now. Uplifters, no vowels, on IG, follow, and learn more about their collabs with Grand National, of course. No shameless plug. Get you some dominoes and then pull up to the reef and get spanked. You know, I'll be handing out L's. This is what I do. You understand me? Lex ain't pulled up on me. See, he ain't done that. So
been decking it.
Nigga film producing the show, but don't want to. And you know what? I'm not gonna do that. It's not what we're here for. We're doing business. That's what we do.
That's a great way to stay out of it. You gotta be on the camera. What you mean?
Oh, got it. You gotta film. Neither here nor there. Today's episode of speaking of the Reef. Today's podcast is powered by the Reef Studios, located in downtown Oakland, specializing in multi-tracking, audiobook, podcast recording, you name it, it can be done. Hit the Reef Studios on IG to inquire about booking time now with either OG Jaron, Brian Simmons, or myself. If you want to work on a dope-ass project, man, that's what we're here to do, to service the community. And lastly, and never not the least, today's podcast is powered by Let's Bubble Productions, video company, powered by none other than our brother Alexius Franklin. He's the reason why the podcast looks the way it does, like hella cool, and people are tapping in, and the subscribers keep going up, and up. Don't forget to subscribe to the Meet the Brave podcast, and in the process, hit Let's Bubble Productions for all your video needs if you want to look as dope as we do. That being said, let's start the show. It's the Meet the Brave podcast. I am Monty Draper.
I am LG.
Lex B.U.B.
My brothers, how are y'all doing on this random, lovely Saturday? Does this feel weird?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Feel a little different.
Is David Robinson related to Danny Glover? Like, I mean, is it Danny? Yeah, Danny Glover. Hey, no, not today. We're not doing this with him. We're not don't, Larry. Bro, look at his
Lawrence. My bad.
Look at his headpiece.
Hell, stop, bro.
Actually, they both might have been in Predator too. That nigga do look kind of like Predator.
This nigga just said
Hey,
Danny Glover. Danny Glover and David Robinson the same nigga?
It might be the same nigga, bro.
Who else we just said the same person was?
Don Tolliver and
Mark Morrison. Hey, if you've never seen them in the same place at the same time, at me.
That's it.
I said what I said. They the same nigga.
That's it.
Damn, That is crazy. Mark Morrison and Don Toliver being the same person is crazy, but they actually might be. Fellas, a lot to get to, but before we do, I would like to say thank you to our amazing listenership. They're taking our challenge pretty seriously. Asking folks to put people onto the show, get our subscribers up on YouTube.
That part.
And it's crazy because y'all keep doing it, so keep it going. Lex, where's the subscribe button? It's usually like down here somewhere like that. On either side. It depends on the day.
Yeah.
You know?
Each one tell one.
No, it's this side. Subscribe button is on this side, right?
I think so.
Dyslexic. It's not.
It gets confusing because you're looking at the screen.
You know what I'm saying? The subscribe button is down here somewhere. Hit the subscribe button and then turn them notifications on and then put somebody onto the show. All you got to do is share the link.
Look at 2021. You can't even just tell somebody to click on the subscribe button because it says subscribe.
Nope.
You got to say, click on the subscribe button and it's located.
you gotta tell them what color it is. It's the red button.
Hey, if you don't ask,
wild.
if you don't direct, you just said you had an OG put you on the game and show you how to do that thing.
That's it.
Hey, we're just walking you through the process of how to stay tapped in.
That's right.
With that being said, fellas, is there any housekeeping shit we need to do? Y'all good? It's a lot of shit to get to.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I honestly don't know where to start.
We don't know what type of energy it's gonna be today. We're not quite sure.
We not.
It's a Saturday deal, so it could
Is
be.
this the first Saturday pod?
This is the first Saturday pod.
I think so.
Yeah. I'm not mad at it so far.
Yeah.
I am, however, a little bit hesitant.
Wait, this is what Duncan doing nowadays? Oh, so he retired and became a nigga.
Oh no, yeah.
Island nigga though.
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay.
I can see him in shorts playing a ukulele.
Oh for sure.
Okay.
No socks.
No socks.
Open toes.
He might finally have some bitches.
Finally, nigga, it's Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan always had the hoes. Excuse me.
Why do you think his name was Murder Man? It wasn't for the hoop court.
Wait, what? That was his name?
Who called Tim Duncan Murder Man? You just made that up?
Yeah.
But wait, he said it and it almost worked.
Bro, it was almost gone.
I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That's why they called Tim Duncan Murder Man. Wait a minute.
So that's what they were calling him in San Antonio.
He got a whole nother life we don't know about. Oh
Yeah.
man, that's funny. Fellas, we're a podcast.
What if he really had hoes on the low?
Here you go.
Like, what if he really was like
He
he was damn near the trafficking god of San Antonio?
It's not what if he trafficking. Okay, never mind. I was about to do it. I'm not doing that with you at all either.
Yeah, because they already got the boat.
And he is a great swimmer.
Do the math.
Murder Man, great swimmer. What other random Tim Duncan facts do you have, fam? I'm so serious.
Lex,
What?
Lex,
Where are you pulling this from?
does Tim Duncan got an unsung somewhere?
I'm for sure watching the Tim Duncan Unsung.
Nah, 'cause I know Lex got hella projects. I feel like he got something with Tim Duncan.
Wait.
Like,
And Lex filmed it?
That'd be
yeah,
dope.
Lex ain't told us about his latest venture.
Oh,
because he
shit.
coming with hella Tim Duncan facts.
Oh, that's funny. Fellas,
Oh, shit.
humor me for a second, because I just don't know what to do. We're a podcast.
Yes, we are.
Whenever anything happens in pop culture that impacts podcasts, do y'all randomly end up in random conversations with people that you didn't know fucked with podcasts at all?
Yep.
How's that?
Is it fascinating or is it annoying?
Both.
Depends on the conversation.
Depends on the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not good for a bad conversation though. Like, if anybody knows,
I'm not good for a bad conversation.
Yeah, like if
That
anybody
makes
know
sense.
me, like they'll know that, bro. I can take only so many bad takes about them.
Yeah.
Before I'm zoned out and also walking away from it.
Well,
And that's on anyone.
there's just, with the way news travels, there's just no way to avoid certain shit, but then especially when people associate with you with that thing. So y'all, I imagine in y'all immediate circles, y'all are known as podcasters, right? Or no, is that not a thing yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
How does that feel? Is that weird, or is it y'all good with that? Is that?
It works for me just because it at least people know just where I'm coming from naturally.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Because they already know what type of time I'm on. So that part is cool. We can kind of meet each other at that point.
Okay. Okay. Like Spub, how's that been? What's that process been like for you?
I'm still working through it, to be honest, but
is it weird?
A little bit for me, because everybody knows I usually don't talk much unless we in a secluded area and it's like a conversation where it's just people that I'm cool with and comfortable with talking. But now, like I said, I'm getting used to being called that.
Yeah. What is the...
Does podcasting help you open up more?
Yeah, it has.
Like in just normal life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you too?
Huh?
For you too?
I mean, that along with a lot of other things, but I think just naturally, along the way, what I use podcasting for a lot is just getting my speech correct. Because I'm able to hear back in here, like where, you know.
Wait, oh, okay. That's a good question. So you listen to the show?
Hmm?
You listen to our show?
Yeah.
Whoa. Do you?
Nigga.
Oh.
Like one day I gotta be clips.
No. I'm sorry. First, I do apologize because that sounded crazy. I mean, never mind. That's stupid. I know you edit and you put everything together. Are you listening though?
Yes.
Okay.
Like because
you know what I mean? Like
I go through the podcast as I'm editing. So we record it.
Yeah.
I edit it and I'm listening to it, and then I listen to the whole thing, and then I pick out the clips.
Oh Jesus Christ!
It's also got me comfortable with the way my voice sounds, because I know my voice is trash, but I'm starting to get comfortable with it. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay, I was about to say that's a whole nother.
It's funny because damn near everybody thinks their voice is trash.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Everybody goes through that. They like the cringe-worthy moments and then the comfort. Like it's really dope. Like so full disclosure, I don't listen to the pod.
Oh wow.
No, I didn't listen to the pod, I should say. And then the calls were becoming so specific. I was like, okay, maybe I should listen to the pod. Like that's not okay. It's totally not okay to do what we do in such
not being in on the inside joke
and not being in on the joke. Yeah, because people were calling about real specific timestamps. Like, damn, somebody the other day referenced something so specific. I felt so bad I didn't know what they were talking about. And I was like, yeah, I better go listen to this. But it was also the last night, G, when you was like, yeah, people like we be talking loose, and I'm like, what do we be saying? And then my mom called me and was like, yo, y'all wildin'. I'm like, damn, what have we been saying? But I said all that to say is just when we're out and people are like, hey, like I get introduced as a podcaster. I'm like, what title? It's a title. And it holds prestige because it means that people associate us with being committed in a way and like serious and a part of that industry for in a real way, monetizing or not, like our consistency in showing up. So when a podcast of some sort makes mainstream media and everybody's covering it, naturally, because we do a podcast, all these random people start reaching out and inquiring about certain things. And I'm snapped back into reality of like, holy fuck, we got 155 episodes of long form, sometimes 2 and 3 hours of us just having dialogue. And we have these clips, and Lex does a really good job of giving the elongated clips with context and such as all these different things. Meanwhile, there's a behind-the-scenes sort of fluidity that needs to take place in order for the show to be sustainable, especially when there's no money involved. And that's not to just like keep rubbing it in, but as we're watching the Joe Budden podcast, Maul, Rory Parks, that whole crew go through what they're going through on a public scale with that much money at stake, you go, damn. this is interesting. And then especially when they get into it and start breaking down, like lifting the veil and start talking about, because they're also doing this thing where they keep throwing around the word transparency, and it's fucking everybody up. Like, stop saying that word, please.
I hate that word.
Stop saying that. That's so stupid. Transparency, stop it, because that's not what's taking place.
You niggas couldn't even be transparent with each other. How you gonna be transparent with us?
With listeners, like, stop it. However, so I wanted to give the whole timeline, but it don't matter now, because we wake up this morning and Maul and Rory launched their first episode behind the paywall of Vimeo. Anybody that isn't using Vimeo and doesn't know how that shit works, please tap into that and just go do your research. Vimeo has a brilliant partnering structure if you have the capital to invest. So I get the link and I go, shout out to Raj. My brother, thank you for just constantly showing up and sending love to you and the family as you guys prepare to heal and grieve, and want you to know that we're here for you as family. Love you dearly. He came by this week and we're just playing music, talking, and we, it was the day the Joe Budden shit jumped off, and we're just talking. And so this morning, he sends me the link of Maul and Rory show. I'm like, oh shit. And then I go, $2 paywall. Huh. I'm paying for this. Then my brain goes to any Joe Budden clip that is posted from the Joe Budden page does 1 million views, no problem. Like layup line, 1 million views. They don't need all 1 million of those people to go click that link and pay that $2. But let's say they get 1/3 of them to go pay. Let's just say they get 1/3. Let's say they get a quarter. Let's get even quarter. You get 1/4 of those folks to go tap in at $2 a pop. And you get half of those folks. And because of the way it's been presented, how much conversation it's garnering, they're getting 500,000 people to go behind that paywall. Oh, nigga, this is brilliant. And it leg sweeped every hot take I had coming in here today. Throw it all out the window. None of
out, huh?
It's
Sweep the leg.
You got the script, and you rehearsing all the way up to the stage, and then the director goes, "Hey, Monty, we not doing that no more." I just threw that shit out the window on the way. Literally on the way over here, I threw that shit out. I was like, "Yep, they whooped us." Yo, they were calling Joe Vince McMahon before, just because this is really some WWE shit. We're gonna stage some funk. And everybody's gonna get paid. Y'all ready? Ready, break.
And we can break this contract, and nobody got paid shit.
Everybody's in breach. It's over.
How do I feel about that?
How do I feel about it? I think it's brilliant. However, if that's what I'm going to go with as a fan, the validity, it's like fighting out wrestling's fake. I'm tuning into the JBP for an insight that didn't exist. Drink Champs can't provide that because Nori's gonna overtalk Pharrell. Nori's gonna have a legend on his show and completely overtalk. You're gonna get lucky and get some awesome stories in the process, but it's not the same as Joe Budden podcast. The black sheep who couldn't get in the industry, who independently was making these incredible bodies of work and touring it, doing all this crazy shit on his own and still couldn't make it, and finally said fuck it, and then caught lightning in a bottle in a new phenomenon that is media, that is podcasting. You couldn't write a better story. So I don't want anybody up there I don't want anybody up there to get lost on that part of what a phenomenon it was. And then that to have your partners pull up and enhance the show and just be a reflection of how niggas is just kicking it on some everyday shit. You can't write a better script than that either. To not monetize for the first 3.5, 4 years, and then to hit the Spotify deal, you're like, damn, it could be done. And then whatever happens from that happens. Not whatever happens from that happens. I think that's a very important part of the story. The injection of the cash now changes the dynamic of the relationship completely. Like, and to act like that isn't the thing is the unfortunate part. That's the word I kept using, G, in the thread, huh? Wasn't it unfortunate? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's really unfortunate to not analyze the evolution of the relationships now and how that has to be honored. And none of those gentlemen are that emotionally ignorant. There's no way. I do believe it is a brilliant staging of the minds, and that's some deep conspiracy shit. But look at what everybody's doing. Like, every show is covering the Joe Budden podcast. Mm-hmm. Everybody covered the Trump presidency prior to him becoming the official representative for the Republicans. They got the machine going. They got the media cycle, and it never turned off. I do believe it's a strategy playbook that people are subscribing to and executing exceptionally well when they have the data, and how and what people are responding to, and how that little bit of dominating the conversation on a pop culture scale makes companies lose their fucking mind and come go write you a blank check. Because you don't give a fuck. Like, nothing's off limits for you at that point. So I don't know. I'm gonna get. I know I'm gonna get laughed at for immediately going conspiracy route. I just had to say it because that's what my gut said. G.
Are you here for the scripting of everything?
Yes, it's scripted. Oh, am I for it though?
Yeah. Are you here for because my only thing about it is that we've already moved into the frame of everything is going to be scripted.
Everything like what? When you say that, what do you mean?
Like, everything in life is going to be scripted in order to receive, because like I've continued to talk about over since from last night, is the whole thing about about the analytics and data. And I mean, you could be as mad as you want about the lack of competition when it comes to basketball right now, but truth be told, everything is about the narrative, and the players have realized how the level that the entertainment portion of things is, and like how important them as individuals entertainment wise is. So it has the owners, it has the league, it has all of these things, the fans at the mercy of when they choose to do what it is that they do. And that carries over, I believe, into everyday life, where everyone is a part of the scam, I would say.
Wow.
You know, like
everybody's in on it.
I think everyone just becomes compliant in being a part of the overall scam. There isn't anything that is real anymore. Now, we talk about this real one, and you know, the real ones are this, that, and the other, but truth be told, there's no fucking such thing. So, my only thing about all this is just that I get it, monetizing things and looking at the data and we have access to this data now, so we know how to run it up now and stuff like that. It's just unfortunate when everything becomes basically love and hip hop in everyday life. Like, it's almost as if a camera is with you at all times, which they are. I mean, we have it in our phone, but it just becomes unfortunate where you don't have actual real interactions.
Can we keep it rolling and watch the Kobe induction together real quick? Separate from Spotify, but by way of Spotify, so then that draws another conversation, and then the business that happens between the host, the co-host, etc., and the people and the amount of people it takes to keep that show going. We're pretty open about what our running is here. L, Lex, myself, we show up at the Reef every day. Once a week to record the pod. We do anywhere from about 2 to 3 hours, so we're really here close to 4. Lex takes the video home. We send the audio to Push, salute to Push. He gets the mixing dialed in, sends it back, and then Lex is able to edit to that. So we're at 4 people to run the show, right, for us. JBP is operating at, 6 of them? Maul, Parks, Rory, Joe, Savon, Alex.
Yeah. And then there usually be somebody else, one where
Corey and Ian are there too.
Yeah.
I don't know what as far as the production of the show, I don't know what their essential roles are, but they are there most episodes, if not all of them. So it's 8 people in the room for them when they're doing stuff.
Ian is there to answer the phone.
Relax.
No, it is.
So I just wanted to catch people up in that. And then Peter Rosenberg, Marissa Mendez, they help sort of jump off the show. It's doing well. It's consistent. Then the Drake beef happens. The numbers go through the roof. And eventually Marissa is removed. Peter's first to be fired from the show. Then Marissa eventually is fired from the show. By that time, Rory is already around and consistent. It's Joe, Marissa, and Rory. They got a real good synergy going. And then Marissa's fired, and they bring Maul in, and Maul plugs in, and they go. But Maul has been around since the early Joe Budden TV days. Joe was one of the first 1,000 people on YouTube streaming content. YouTube and Ustream. He just turned on the camera, and you get to be in some random slaughterhouse session, or you get to be at his house randomly on a Monopoly night, and it was just real fascinating content. Like it was the first of its kind. So all of that is important.
Him and Tahiri's relationship is pretty funny too.
Hilarious. And that's where the landscape and the blueprint for Love and Hip Hop is eventually established, and then that becomes a thing. He's on the show, so then people don't. It would always be hilarious when people's context of Joe was Love and Hip Hop. It wasn't Joe Budden TV. It wasn't Mood Music 1. It wasn't Escape Route. It wasn't Padded Room. It wasn't none of that shit. And that's where the fan part always got me in trouble, because I'm like, all this shit is on brand, and like the layer, like it all just makes sense. And so as a stan, you gotta defend Joe. All right, whatever. We get into the pod. They get the deal. Couldn't be happier for him. Again, the context of what he's been through as an independent artist is hella important. They get the deal. He's like, fuck yeah, finally, my nigga got a break, got a win, and he got to do it with his niggas. This is beautiful. And then it all comes falling apart. In and around the time the Joe Rogan Spotify deal is announced. Now again, that context is very important. Joe Rogan has been podcasting since 2000 and shit. 8, something wild like
it's
that.
Like 8 or 9.
Yeah,
right?
Something wild. He's got 3,000 episodes plus. It's a really, really long time, and investment in IP. That part of the conversation is very important. So when Joe Rogan is going to negotiate a Spotify deal, again, with the proper context, it makes sense why his starting point and his leverage is different than a Joe Budden podcast. However, I understand and that's not even to say that was a discrepancy between Spotify and the Joe Budden podcast. Like that's not even to say that, because I wouldn't even shade them and assume that they're that naive to think that the equity or the value of a Joe Rogan podcast versus a Joe Budden podcast is off. That may not be what they're arguing. However, we called it. Soon as the Joe Rogan deal was announced, we came in here and said, like, yo, this is gonna cause some shit for a lot of people, and for whatever reason, I feel like it's gonna affect the Joe Budden podcast more. And then naturally it does. There's a whole war. Bam and Bill Simmons have a awkward conversation. It just was really, really strange, but it reeked of someone who was literally in the midst of a transformation of understanding how the business worked for real. Somebody whose whole career is predicated on indie, fuck the machine, indie, fuck the machine, indie, fuck the machine, but it's doing it from the lens of you had mainstreams. Your first outing was uber mainstream success. We laugh at Pump It Up now, but God damn it, is one of the biggest songs on one of the bigger labels at the times. One of the bigger labels at the time, and so it gets put through the channel of being burned into pop culture. It's in all the Disney films. The fucking song's everywhere. So the residual royalty check, however that breaks down, but his paperwork's fucked up. So the business in and around that situation reeks of, I have to be fucked anti the system because of what I experienced. Okay, cool. So, and I would always say this, the confusing part about the Joe Budden podcast in the beginning is the people he didn't like. He hated Tyler, the Creator, for whatever weird reason. I'm going, nigga, Tyler kind of exists because of you. Like, your anti the system thing is what allowed Odd Future to kind of like kick in the door and be like, yeah, definitely fuck the system. So that was always weird. Early, he would just say these weird things about Vince Staples before he met him. Was like, oh, that kid's awesome. It's like, no, nigga, you just don't know. Like, you've been under your New York bias rock and you're getting all this information. And so once that shit started to happen, and as he got a little bit more cachet and can move around, his takes on things started to shift. I was like, oh shit, here we go. And nothing feels nastier when woke man becomes motherfucking Samuel's character from Django. Like, nothing feels more egregious than that. Because you're like, what happened? You was a runaway nigga. Now you the house. This feels crazy.
You saw behind the veil.
And because you saw it, and you instead of holding the door open, you shut the door. It's like, you niggas stay out there. It's AC in here. That's what it comes off as. But if you got the context, you're like, nah, that's not what's happening. But fuck, who has time for context? To L's point, what's real? Who has time for context in the space of, like, we don't even know if anything is real anymore? Who has time for that? So cool. Now we're up to speed. Fast forward to this past week, or fast forward to current times. The guys went on a month hiatus. Noticeably things had been deteriorating. L called that shit like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. It's like, yo, the pod's kind of nasty now. I'm not fucking with it. Kevin Allen said the same thing, and I'm like, damn, I gotta keep fucking with it. Then out of nowhere, I stopped. I was like, yeah, I can't do this. This is weird. This is nasty. This don't feel right. And now it's all coming out that behind the scenes shit just wasn't right. Like, the niggas was asking to audit and see the books and see what was happening, because to let Maul and Rory paint it, they weren't employees. They were profit partners. So the difference being is that as the show generates revenue, we gotta have a new discussion in and around what that new influx of cash is, how it's going to be dispersed. And so
it is very hard to believe that the conversation was employee. Very hard to believe. It's very easy to believe that the infrastructure that you create and then create a company that muddies the waters between what the main cast is as opposed to what you're adding to a network. It's easy to then try to put everything underneath the same umbrella and then siphon from the main cast to get everything else going, and then not share any of that, and then go back to the whole thing that Monty's talking about on when you started and the amount of things that you had to go through and the amount, like, that's why I got my little fiddle out, is because I get it. Bro had a long road, but
what the fuck does that have to do with it?
Keep in mind that your road was still, you'll still just be on that road. Like, don't act as if it was just a single. It was just a
just
single.
Your sacrifice.
Yeah, just a one sacrifice was the reason why y'all got to this point. Yeah. So to just disregard everybody else's contributions, and then go about it that way, if that's even the case. So that's the reason why for this particular situation, I'm so far out of it, because I'm thinking of it in like a very, layman's terms, very fucking real way of looking at it, right?
Yeah.
But if it's all WWE and it comes out as being WWE, then best believe I don't want to have anything to do with anything that any of them are doing.
Gotcha.
I don't care what platform it's on or what I'll continue to look at the business aspect of things, but best believe I'm not in support of going down that type of road with folks. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I hate when people present shit to you and it not be that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing worse to me in the world than that type of shit.
And again, that's just my take. It was.
I guess if you have a TV show, but not in this shit.
It's not
a TV show.
It resonated as so brilliant. It resonated as so brilliant, G. My mind couldn't fucking help but go to conspiracy. Like, yo, this is a play, and it's just tight. But I'm not signing up for the circus. I'm good, because it's everywhere. Like, go ahead.
Did you guys laugh a little bit? Cause see, I watch a lot of wrestling. And when he
there's a part where Joe's ranting.
Yeah. Rory, you're fired. All I did was hear Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
And then it made me think about this interview Vince McMahon did a long time ago, and he was talking about when he was talking about the change in wrestling, and when he was talking to his dad, and he was like, "Yeah, we give them entertainment once they hit the ring.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is take more money to that, invest in more writers to give them entertainment even when they're not at the ring."
Yep.
So, and then it's like, you just entertained the world even when there was no pod.
You did this without having, you know what I'm saying? Like, to muster up that much conversation. It was just a brilliant play. And then this morning to wake up to Maul and Rory's.
Are you doing an academic thing?
Rory, to wake up to that, and for it to be behind the paywall out the gate is the evolution of podcasting. So, those who are trying to figure out what the evolution is and how this pertains to the entire podcast industry, in the beginning, there was only one. Fucking the podcast app came out, and niggas was like, "Oh, how do I get on that?" And people figured it out, and there was shows up there, and it was on the phone. It was like, cool. And then there was little sub pockets of websites you could host it through, and you could host it on your own website. Like, people were figuring out how to do it. But the whole idea of the paywall is new, but to get it out the gate, and then what Vimeo has established, like, I know what that Vimeo deal is. Like, we got presented with it, like right at the end of shit, like right, and I was like, and I'm looking at the layout, G, and I go, oh, this is awesome. I wish I had the cash to front this. This is the answer to all our prayers. It's a brilliant play. So to see them go directly there, I had to take my hat off and go salute. That's just a big, like, I assume Rory can figure out the business shit. The Duce Palooza thing was big, and then Maul, his brother is bigs in hip hop, nigga. Like, they're gonna be fine. Not crying for Maul and Rory. Them niggas is gonna be A-okay. And then sure as shit, here we are, and I'm like, bro, this was awesome. Now can we move on, please? I'm like, what else is there to talk about? Because they whooped the whole country into a conversation on this shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What you got?
You think Charlamagne saw it coming because they didn't do a Brilliant Idiots on it, did they?
No, Charlamagne.
No, they've been covering it the whole time.
Yeah, but they did do like this last episode that was supposed to drop after the whole firing.
Yeah,
they just didn't do it.
Charlamagne didn't want to feed into the monster. Like what he did, they did bring it up on the Breakfast Club, but he used that opportunity to plug other shit.
Yeah.
So he plugged the Black Effect and he plugged the book for what's name?
Because he sees exactly what we're talking about. The commandeering of the conversation. He's like, oh, if I have to, if Charlamagne and Joe are in an arms race the way they seem to have been for the whole time, if controversy ensues, and on Charlamagne's Brilliant Idiots podcast and on his Breakfast Club network, he has to cover this other person's show, who's really winning for real? You know what I'm saying? So that's when Hot 97 and Ebro, I don't even listen to the show. What are you covering it for then, fam? Oh, because it's a relevant conversation that you want your platform to be relevant. So guess what we gonna do? We gonna talk about some shit we don't know nothing about.
Ebro just did a pull-up.
With?
Who did he sit down with? It was somebody. Which I thought it was. It felt like a. What's the Rick Rubin? It felt like a Rick Rubin type of sit down. But I forgot who it was with. I'll tell you in a second. But you go ahead.
Real quick, shout out to Tax. We forgot his podcast.
Man, thank you. Shout out to Tax, bro. Like Tax Stone, Tax Season. That was one of the ones. So
that and Combat Jack.
Combat Jack. So at Loudspeakers, all Loudspeakers networks. Combat Jack, Brilliant Idiots. Like shout out to them. They pioneered the whole network space. Shit, I don't know if they were before Barstool and another. Like I don't know if they were before that, but what Loudspeakers has been to podcast culture is fucking awesome. I'm in Mexico. This is 5 years ago plus now, maybe 6.
No, he sat down with Cali to talk about Cali.
Jesus. I'm definitely not listening to that. That's disgusting.
That's what I knew it was nasty, but I'm saying that's he did a pull up after talking all that shit about that. He did a pull up and his guest was Cali.
Come on, Ebro.
To talk about the Cali.
Yeah. I'm in Mexico, Lex, and like I'm still broke. Like fuck it, but this was like, I'm so broke, I have no business being nowhere near an airplane, let alone out the country. Like, what am I doing with me? Like, fam, don't go anywhere with no money. But, fuck it, take your life on. Like, you survive. Like, that was, y'all, that was my life for a really long time. Being a whole foreign country with no bread. Like, you know how dangerous that is? So, yeah, I'm in Mexico.
Mexico's a spot that you can live off nothing, though. You can put some pesos together.
No. That was my thinking. That's why I did it. But I'm just saying it's a terrible idea. Like,
gotcha.
But
no.
See, it's thinking like that though. It's like it's Mexico. I can figure that out.
Shit don't cost much out there.
Gee, so I fuck around and leave the resort too early, and the first thing they tell you is like, yo, don't cut your wristband because you can't get back in this motherfucker. So I read the itinerary wrong, and I thought I was leaving a particular day. So I hop in the van. I tell everybody bye, whoop-de-whoop, and I get to the airport, check my ticket. It's like, you don't leave till tomorrow. Ooh. And I'm calling. I'm like, hey, I cut my wristband. Like, yeah, we can't let you back in. It's like, I'm like, yo, it's nothing you can do. Like, there's nothing we can do. I'm like, my room is booked till tomorrow. Like, no. There's nothing we can do. I talked to Eric there. Can I switch my ticket? Yeah, you can for whatever. I'm like, I don't have $4, let alone $400. So guess I gotta wait till tomorrow. Yeah, you can't sleep in the airport though. It's a hotel over there. It's a hotel. All right, so I get to the hotel.
Well, that's the grimy.
I'm like, man, this is so stupid. Get a room overnight. But mind you, it's off the resort, so guess what? Everything's in Spanish. You turn on the TV, everything's in Spanish. Like, damn. So I'm like, I could thug it out and watch fucking, not Law and Order. What's the CSI? I can watch CSI in Spanish. I can figure it out. Even if you know that episodes in there and reruns, it's so hard to watch that shit with the subtitles. So I'm like, all right, Nigga, the only thing on my phone was podcast, and it was episode 1 of Tax Stone and Tax Season, and when he sits down with Pee Wee Kirkland. Changed my life forever. I knew, like, if I was guessing what podcasting in, it was like, oh, for sure, doing a podcast. Now, this is amazing. Tax Season, like, I know everything was unfortunate how it played out, but, man, what that dude means to podcasting. Again, so Loudspeakers, Combat Jack, and I forget bruh's name, that's everybody's partner that helped put all the shows. So Brilliant Idiots is a spawn of that. The Read, like Loudspeakers was getting it in a real ass way. Well, did you have any more takes about Joe Budden, the fallout, anything before we got off of it?
No.
What about you?
I think it was covered good like a blanket.
Like a blanket. What about you, G? I want nothing to do with it. Well, Cole's here.
Yes, he is.
Cole's here.
All the way here.
Cole is here. No? Just me? I'm the only one?
No. Keep going. Say it again.
So, I told the For Your Eyes Only story, right? Like, I've given you your props on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been open on the show about my own ego and insecurities in around Cole because he occupies a space people naturally just throw me in. Like, a Fire Cole song and come, like, it was such a hard time to enjoy Cole because people who I really, really wanted to listen to me wouldn't listen to me and then would send me Cole songs and be like, oh man, this remind me of you. And it's a compliment. Like, right? That's a compliment, right? Yeah, that's a compliment. My brain would always take it as a diss, though. So Cole, Toby, when Toby first came out, the first video when he's getting his hair like greased and parted and shit and he's snapping, everybody sent me that video. It's like, oh, nigga, I get what you doing now. Like, I didn't understand it before until I seen this. So it made me despise Toby for the first, like, 2 years. Jiz will be like, man, we want a Toby concert, you want to roll? Fuck no, nigga, I don't want to go. And I should have went.
That was a great concert. Handed out shrooms to everybody.
Lex, you want to have a good time. Lex is the man. So Cole create that whole sort of wave. But Cole specifically, just because ain't no street nigga, but can rap his ass off, and had to have these creative.
That was around street niggas.
Was around street niggas, and had to have these creative ass concepts to where it was, especially in the era when it was like, you had to kill hella niggas to be tight. You had to be toting a pistol. You got to be selling dope. It's like, nigga, I went to college, fam. Fucked with the hoes, hooped.
Top ramen on the hot plate.
You know what I'm saying? And other than that, was only fucking with the music. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I know my life ain't that interesting because I ain't killed nobody, but hey. So that was Cole, but he just did it really, really well. So Dollar in the Dream, like, all this shit was just like, fuck, man, this nigga's brilliant. It can only be one of them. My life's over. So it was like, I struggled with listening to Cole for a really, really long time. And so I didn't really get to enjoy Forest Hills the way that I do now. So when For Your Eyes Only came out, fuck that. I'm not listening to that. Didn't listen to it. This nigga L sends it like a year later. It's like, yo, this is what I'm on today. And I turned it on. And by the time I realized what was happening, bro, I had driven to like fucking Pacifica or some shit. Like, I just got in the car and was gone and like woke up. I was like, bro, where am I? It's the most beautiful body of work. For Your Eyes Only, to make a concept record specifically for your kid and but put it out to the world. I don't know, bro. I just thought that was like ballsy. Like,
Shit was great.
I just thought it was what you should expect. Or no, I'm sorry. If in a world where expectations are ridiculous, if you have a favorite artist and you want them to try something or give you an offering, they go out of their way and make something that fearless and make something that personal and share with you. I just feel like that's what an honor. For Kendrick to give us Damn, like, are we worthy of To Pimp a Butterfly for real? I like that. Like, I literally was listening to that album going, I don't feel like I deserve this.
For real. Way ahead.
And then Damn comes out and I was like, I know I don't deserve this shit.
Now
this
even further ahead.
This is incredible. Like, I'm interested to talk to those gentlemen and go, yo, what did that cost you emotionally? What did that cost you in your personal life? Like, what did you have to do to achieve something, a feat that incredible? This is amazing.
You saw that album cover for Damn.
What did you?
That's when you're spent.
What did you go through? So then we get to, granted, it was Dreamville Compilations and KOD. All these things happen in between there, but there's still this like, damn, is Cole gonna put it together on a solo tip? And then nigga, we get back to the crib and I go, I gotta go make some moves. I get in the car. And I turn on off season. And the first thing I hear is fucking Cameron. If I could, I would have stood on the driver's seat and with the sunroof open and just screamed. It was the most amazing feeling, G. And it's because I had that epiphany a few weekends ago. It's like, yo, maybe art is this thing that just takes time. Like, salute all the niggas that can just crank out a lot of material, but what if you're just supposed to take your time with it and have these personal experiences that make the music matter that much more, make it that much more potent? Fuck. I know it's early. I know people. It's like, oh, it's too early. J.Cole fans be wilding. Yeah. Like, we can do all the other shit when something isn't up to par. We can shit on it. So why can't we big something up when a nigga hit that mark? And that nigga pulled up and hit that mark. At least I believe so.
No, he did. Straight up, he did. I don't know why niggas say like you can't say that. As soon as you hear the product, man, like, you know, oh, this ain't leaving the rotation.
Yeah, I mean, I can admit that listening to it the night of, it was a lot to take in. Like, it wasn't like I wasn't completely drawn to it initially.
Really?
There were songs that I was initially drawn to. So, yeah. Like, you know, the one with 21.
21, yeah, absolutely. That's the second song off the rip.
Yeah, and then
Him and Baby.
Yeah. So those are a given, of course.
Yeah.
But initially, I was just like, okay. I mean, I don't know what I really listened to just now.
Yeah.
And then the second time was me riding a bike, and I was like, oh, this is fucking amazing.
What was it? Do you know what the difference was?
Yeah. So initially, it was because Cole has done I'm like a real Cole fan. So it's not like the whole people that were angry about For Your Eyes Only initially, and him how he talk about the youth in KOD, you know, that wasn't my take on Cole. Like, the thing about Cole that I appreciate the most is Cole's production. Like, Cole over his own production, I appreciate as one of the best fans out about that. You know what I mean? He did fucking High Power, for God's sakes. Man. So Cole can do production. It's just that people aren't like, if you're a Fly By Night fan, then yeah, you're not gonna understand.
Nah, fam, you gotta go back.
Yeah,
you gotta go back.
No, High Power's fucking amazing.
You gotta go back.
Bro, the wave to be on that beat, bro, is nuts.
Oh, don't break her arm. I can't watch this. Tap out, lady. Tap out.
Yeah, she got to.
Oh.
That whole arm is done.
Oh.
It's limp. Yep. Okay. She didn't pull it all the way out.
Ooh, she was about to snap that shit. Mm-hmm. Sorry, G. High Power. Yes. Produced by J.Cole.
Yeah. So, Cole, I can admit, as a true Cole fan, I can admit as a true Cole fan that listening to Sideline Story initially, I didn't quite understand, and that's only because he's done a great job at in a way, teaching you, or I would say like, what is the word? Getting you familiar or used to his projects being cohesive. As like for if somebody was to get hella producers, which this album has a bunch of different producers, then obviously songs are gonna sound completely different from each other. I wasn't expecting that from Cole, so the first listen I was still trained. That was the word, trained, for the last two projects that he put out. So it didn't register to me when I listened to it. I was just like, okay, this might be close to, like, I wouldn't say it's mid, but it might not be the Cole that I was interested in.
So initially did it sound more, did the first listen sound a little bit more fragmented than you were used to?
Yeah, it just didn't feel like they were connecting to each other. Got it. You know what I mean? But then when I heard it the next day, I was like, oh, I was blown away by every single song. You know what I mean? So it was a different experience once I took it out of into another.
How on brand is that though? So the knock on Cole is, man, go get other producers and let them produce. So okay, y'all, he does it, and then it's like, oh man, it's a little bit. But the idea that your ear picked up on that as a Cole fan, like that's pretty tight though.
Yeah.
That happened to you, and then you went back to it, was like, oh, but this is dope. Each song is its own, and that's been the knock. It's like people are like, oh man, Cole, mad boring. I'm like, god damn, like what are you supposed to do?
Bro, there's nothing like the cohesion of For Your Eyes On.
For Your Eyes On.
You know what I mean? Like it could just be one
just press
tone,
play,
basically.
just let it go.
You know what I mean? Like I fuck with that. So this one was different to experience, but I had to put it into a different context, and it's like, oh, he's rapping, and you got to listen to the references. You know what I mean? So there's a lot more going on in this album than what you're used to from Cole. So I can appreciate that angle. And if you're a hooper, this is like your fucking album. This is what 2 Chainz was trying to do with that album that he did with LeBron. When he had LeBron do the
8 Chainz, I got you. Step aside, fam.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Cause tell me when Dame come on, you don't get. Man, I was about to pick up a basketball right now.
So. L and Poe came through last night, and I love when everybody comes to the studio, but them specifically, they just ask different questions. They think about this shit on a different level. So I'm playing them Kevin's album, and if you sit in a room with me long enough, guess what you're gonna have to do? Listen to Kevin's album. This is what I'm on right now, and it's an experience playing it for them because of how they consume music. Because then we come and talk about the shit like this. And the first time I played L, the intro, he goes, "This sounds like the Panthers strapping up." Fuck, that's a very, very, very specific image that I can't not unsee listening to that music now. And then Poe sitting back here, talking over to me, all kind of shit, and then eventually I look up and he's next to me at the board and goes, "Cause this shit is phenomenal." I'm like, damn. You can work that intentionally. Like, Kevin's a fucking, I've never seen no shit like it. Oh, let me do it again. Dog, it's perfect. Yeah, I know, but what if this one's better? Oh damn, that one is better. All right, now let me clean up a few words. God damn it, bro, we're not gonna ever leave this. It's the amount of effort that goes into each song. I've learned so much. So then when Cole pulls up and the shit's perfect, it's just hard to argue with. It's just hard to have a debate about something that is flawless and it's so hard to do. It's really, really hard to do in terms of having that much pull, having that many people expecting some shit, and you pull up and deliver. Mm-hmm. I'm just impressed. The how thin that line is of success and failure. He's a producer. He can't skip it. Like he makes beats. So yeah, nigga, I want to make my own beats now. But you can call J.Cole, you can call T Minus, you can call Timbaland, you can call all these great ass producers and get this fire. Go get the heat. And then you play executive producer and string them all together. And that's what it felt like he did. He just took a step back so he could go focus on the raps. And that's what he said. He said, my nigga sent me this beat 2 years ago. I didn't hear it at the time. Like, that's what should be happening.
Oh, they just updated it. The first take didn't have the features on it, right?
No, they just updated it.
Yeah. Okay, that's a cool way to roll it.
Nah, nigga, because you Cam is a surprise. Puff is a surprise. Lil Baby, when it's where Lil Baby shows up. Like, I could have predicted the 21 appearance where it was because it kind of like didn't make sense. Lil Baby completely caught me off guard, and that nigga came on sliding.
What? That nigga, he can't miss, bro.
Right.
Lil Baby cannot miss.
I'm sorry, bro. Somebody test that man.
It don't matter who you put him with.
He's wilding right now. That nigga is outside of his mind, bro.
You niggas notice they don't never show his feet? Because I think that nigga just ice blocks his feet. That nigga just slides everywhere.
You've noticed they don't ever show his feet. It's crazy.
Hey, those shits might not be touching the ground, bro.
And G gonna walk in here. We send each other pod notes, and G gonna walk in here and put the pressure on. I think I thought I knew the answer, and then the more we start talking about Cole, I don't know now.
That's what I'm saying. Because that's what the Baby's producer was up against. Like, he had to make that decision, and he chose.
What happened exactly? What happened?
Well, he was asked to be on to do Rihanna's album, but the Cole situation came up, and he chose to go with the Cole situation.
Yeah.
So he didn't do the Rihanna one. But I was like, as a producer, what's the option you're choosing? Because that's a hell of a lick. So
I said no brainer, and I still feel the same way. However, I get why he went with Cole. With Cole, it's going to fulfill my rap bag, like the part of me that just loves backpack rap. Like, I'm gonna be able to nerd out and have the time of my life. The more and more I start to like be honest with myself, fam.
You trying to do festival music?
It's not even because Cole is gonna make the festival. It's not even festival music. G, do you know how much I specifically love R&B?
I was about to say, Money's a lover. That's R&B. That's what you want.
If Anti came on right now, I would just close my eyes and sing every word.
That's my shit.
Consideration is the idea of Rihanna and SZA together. It makes me feel good. So if Rihanna calls and goes, "Hey, Money, be here right now," and Cole's like, "Hey, bro, nigga, I'm going to the Rihanna sessions every time." Like, and pray to God that Cole is like, "Not fuck you forever." It's like, no, bro, I just really, really love R&B music. And the idea of like, I don't know, bro. Like when Rihanna covered that Tame Impala record, that shit made me so happy. I love Tame Impala, by the way. Like, it's
that shit that be on loop.
Gee.
Like, it's just looping the bro. That shit could be 10 minutes, bro, and it's just the same vibe.
Feel like a brand new person.
Oh, just listen to that shit.
I get emotional. So if I got a chance to go make that, G, I'm sorry. I just gotta go.
That's a vibe.
I really
that's just timeless.
I'm gonna get roasted for it, but I have a real goal of invading the day party. Like, all the critical acclaim, like a bunch of shit could happen. If my shit can't get played at the day party, I didn't succeed. Like, it's a goal. I know that's a weird thing to have, but it's something about that music where you go, you made a hit for real. You know, like if you get played at the picnic, the picnic where the elders is at, and if you get played at the day party, you did something different. Like you tapped into something that only a few people did. So I got a real, like, that shit is on my own. The whiteboard at the studio and at the whiteboard at the crib. Like,
I got my own thing like that with film.
Right? How does that pertain to film?
Like a cult classic. I don't care about none of the awards, nothing.
Yeah, right.
But let me make some shit where even if it didn't do well in the theater.
Because Friday didn't win awards for anything, right?
No.
Right? Like, not, I mean, at least not, I'm sure it won awards, but not like
Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, just people could be like, oh, it did do good in theaters, but then when motherfuckers seen it, every time it comes on streaming,
You know what movies like that? L put me on. Fucking. Do you remember showing me Grandma's Boy the first time?
Bro, that's just
every time.
I had never seen it, bro. I cried, and it's like, nah, it didn't do well, but it's a cult classic. Like anybody that knows about that movie, they know, nigga. It was like a secret when you pulled up at the homie house and they showed you Napoleon Dynamite. Like that wasn't a big thing, but if you went to the homie's house, it's like, you ain't seen Napoleon Dynamite yet. Like, yeah, you know, like it's.
Yeah, I mean, Office Space is in there.
Yeah, Office Space for sure.
If you go horror, it's like Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Man.
You know, it's, you know.
I seen that shit on the fluke too. But it's, you know, so that's why I gotta answer that question like that. It's like it's no knock on Cole. Like being in the Cole sessions would be an honor, but from a producer and songwriter standpoint, I think I would be able to do more in Rihanna sessions too. Like I think I would actually get to write. Cole ain't let nobody write his verse for him. Like that ain't happening. So yeah, get to actually like write and do reference records for Rihanna and like hear your reference records go from sounding crazy to Rihanna making them sound like fucking heaven is just like, oh man. Jane is like that. Jane, like, I'll mumble and Jane be like, oh, that's it, bye, and then send you back a record 20 minutes later. You're like, nigga, what just happened? It's crazy. We had a fan question last week we didn't get to, or we teased. That was funny. We teased the fan question. Fan question: why don't men make a thing about females dick shaming? We are not allowed to say anything about females' body, but they're allowed to trash us on our bodies and dick game. We need a hashtag. So there's a like a pseudo dating game on YouTube, and the dude is standing in the middle of the woman and the man, and he'll ask the woman like, yo, what do you need? What do you expect in a guy? She's like, yo, body gotta be right, this, that, and then ask the dude the same question. He's like, yeah, she gotta be slim, she gotta be put together, you know. And the woman go, that's body shaming. He like, fam, you just said the same thing, just different. Like, what do you mean that's body? Like he genuinely was confused. And so it was like, all right, that didn't go well. Cause he's like, yeah, that's why I can't mess with y'all dudes. Y'all be body shaming and all this shit. And he's like, wait a minute, you literally just said the same thing.
Yeah, you can't really give your list out loud. You gotta keep that interior.
Well, we're finding out, and no, fuck that. We don't have to put no clothes on. Ladies are tight. The women are really, really dope. And what people like DJ Envy fail to realize is that you don't have to, like, pandering ain't fly. Like, there's nothing fly about pandering. And I'm not a fucking Kevin Samuels stan at all. Like, I just ate my bag. Like,
household name?
Do your thing, my nigga. Run it up. But it's just personally not my bag. However, the parts of those conversations, again, the context, like, you can't watch the clip that went viral on that. You got to go watch the whole hour-and-a-half live stream
full context
to really get full context of what was happening in the ebbs and flows of those conversations. So when we get into the space of like body shaming, dick shaming,
don't get it twisted. That's what ran the numbers up.
Yeah, no, the viral, that's what ran the numbers up because everybody wants to go see the train wreck, but don't nobody want to do the work to go hear the whole dialogue. Just give me the short version, fam. I gotta go. I got shit to do.
Yeah.
But while I'm on the go, guess what I can do? I can establish and develop a well thought out think piece and opinion on something that I only skim the surface to be tapped into. So you can't be moved one way or another. Like, you can't. And that's kind of how I feel about this conversation, is just making an accountability thing. Who are you interacting with? That's on. That's on. That's on.
You guys gonna laugh because I finally talked to him. I was like, bro, why didn't you text me that? And he was like, bro, so me and my chick, we driving back from like they had a little get together.
Yeah.
And he driving back and he was like, she drunk, she got the ox, and she played the most reckless shit, pointing at me, all the shit. So I just woke up in the way and said that question.
All the subliminals felt personal.
In the middle of it.
Give a fuck about a nigga. And she point. The finger point is what it do.
And he was like, bro, she pointed touch the side of.
Hey, fam, you rapping them lyrics a little too good, and it's something about somebody just pointing to one finger like, and he constantly tapping.
You already knew it.
And he was like, fam, we was driving from Tacoma to North Seattle.
Oh yeah.
He was like, so
in traffic.
Like, in traffic. He was like, it was a good 45 minutes to an hour, and nothing but the fat niggas weak.
It's the equivalent of a battle rap that just won't end, like the round that won't end, and you don't get to even rebuttal. You just gotta take the whole. Like nah, watch out. See.
You just look over at Smack like, bro, that's 3 minutes.
And he's still sitting there.
It breeds a really, really interesting question. My only thing is on some accountability shit. Like, I just don't want to be anywhere near those over liberal, pandering ass rooms. I don't want to be nowhere near it. I'm not about to be the nigga to come in here and defend a white comedian, but Tony Hinchcliffe is going through hell right now. Do y'all watch the Kill Tony podcast? Shit's amazing. It's hilarious. They do like a fucking what's the singing show with Simon Cowell? What was that shit called? American Idol. They do like American Idol panel on stage. A comedian comes up and does a minute, like a quick minute, and then has to spar with the judges if you just naturally in a roasting.
Oh, that's the one where they roasted that fat chick?
Yes.
Oh, that's Kill Tony? Oh, yeah. So the dude that be talking to, that's Tony?
That's Tony Hinchcliffe.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I'll fuck with him.
So Tony Hinchcliffe
from
is
the clips at least.
Fucking hilarious. But if you're a fan, you know the tone of his comedy and how not personal or how not serious the shit is. So an Asian dude who has been an opener for him before is opening, but he's doing all Asian jokes, and he's killing because it's his delivery, it's how it's just a really, really dope set, right? So Tony comes up and goes, "You fucking race baiters, you guys are trash. Like, y'all gonna laugh at them corny ass jokes. He just came up here and Chinese this, Chinese that. Like he was
black, bro.
He's getting ham.
Bro, call the fight, bro. He ain't defending himself in a while. Yeah. In a while. But why he get on his head like that?
Don't bow to me after you beat me up.
Fair.
Yeah, nah, he for sure a part of the. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll tell you what he.
He opened him up like crazy. That's why he bowed. He like, I fucked him up.
Hey, for our people though, we can't ever get whipped like that in that type of situation. Yeah. And then my man get on his knees and start doing some Allah shit.
So Tony gets up there and says the most many Chinese derogatory terms you could think of. Like immediately starts going in. And Asian Cuz goes on his IG and goes, yeah, I felt mad disrespected, like goes on a rant. And so now there's a divide of people trying to defend Tony, and it's like, yo, this is the problem. White comedians can come up here and say anything, and it's like, but even the self-deprecating white comedian is like fuck, I can't even do that because even that's a form of privilege too, to go up there and just be hella self-deprecate. Like, so what the fuck y'all want from me? It's what, and I was like, and the more it played out, I'm like, bro, I can't go on the podcast and defend a white comedian, can I? But in the name of
free speech,
fuck free speech. Like, even that is a weird thing to come up and defend. Say what you gotta say, but just be ready to have everything compromised in the process. Like seriously. We're running a show. A big time sponsor pulls up and go, hey guys, we want to give you all this for this. In order to make it work, Monty, you probably can't say holy fuck so much. L, you all right? This when you about to go on, just think about how on when you're going. Lex, you probably can't say you touch yourself to fucking Anderson .Paak no more.
As soon as I say, deal's off.
Deal's off.
Deal's off.
No, seriously.
That's the line right there.
Exactly.
No, I'm dead ass, y'all. Like that. Like what? Serious? I'm asking now. Like, what if that? Hey, Spotify want to give us this, but they just want us to be mindful of some of the shit we.
No, I really feel like Carlos Miller and them, Carlos, and Chico.
Yeah.
It's like, if you come in here, you know what you're coming for.
You know what you're coming for.
Ain't no, you don't get to step in the kitchen and try to add something to the sauce and change the sauce. The sauce is the sauce.
Yeah, no, that's like a job. And I don't even do that at my job.
So then how do we end up in these situations, guys? Not us specifically, but how do folks end up in these situations where things happen and you going, fam, I was joking, to now I got to issue an apology? Kevin Hart going, I'm not apologizing, I'm not going to host, and then go on a whole apology tour because the business was in jeopardy. I can't be like, Kev, don't apologize. Like, how much of his business was really at stake because of folks he has dealings with, having to be aligned with certain things and going, yo, Kev, I know you, it don't really matter. Like, publicly, you gotta apologize, though.
Yeah, I mean, his number two, like his right hand executives is like women that are within that group.
Yeah.
So that nigga has some real battles that he's trying to hold key to, but you know, once you're operating at that frequency,
yeah,
there is no way to not exactly bow, but be in tune with how many mouths you're feeding.
Do you guys kind of think that that's another reason to why Eddie might have took a step back?
That's exactly why Eddie took a
step back. Because after listening to him on Kevin Hart, Eddie can't help but be Eddie.
What I say last night, like finding out Eddie Murphy is a real nigga at the end of the day, it's like, God.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool to be in the space where you don't have to. You know what I mean? Like, Eddie doesn't have to do the thing. You know what I mean? Like, Eddie doesn't have to go outside his house. Everybody comes there. Bro, he doesn't have to do a thing.
Arsenio said, "Hey, Eddie, you should do the one in the parking lot."
Nigga, you should do
that. Dude look like
nigga. Ask yourself if I
would do some shit like that. I said, "Oh, Eddie's the funniest thing,
bro. That is the most dismissive shit ever."
No, that part when he was like, "Nah, Kevin, you should just ask Arsenio what I should be doing." That nigga know everything.
But where else could you get that version of Eddie Murphy at? Name another platform. Maybe 85 South. But they don't have a relationship with Eddie the way that Kevin does. So Kev was
also got to walk something, not exactly walk it back, but also just got to give Kev his flowers on this part, because I've listened to every single one on there now.
Yeah.
And got to give him his props for Kev is fully aware of everything. And it's hard to not be aware. It's hard to not be aware of everything, of course, but he's actually like there's so much respect within that craft, and you can know how important somebody actually is to any craft by how everybody else speaks to that person. Like, everybody, like, there's not one comedian that's going on there, and there's big ones on there, that the first thing they talk about is Kev's work ethic. There is nobody that's working harder than that individual.
Yeah.
So, and then also him talking about moving over, like, the corporate side, damn near touching the stardom side. Mm-hmm. So when those are wet and wet, eventually stardom fizzles.
The business ain't going
But
nowhere.
that nigga will be corporate forever.
But why? So my only beef with that is my only beef with that is that seems to be a negative variable for only black creators. Like, nah, you gotta stay real forever. You can't. What? Nigga, don't nobody want to be in a rental with some other niggas trying to figure out how to keep the cost down to get to this next city to go do a Thursday, Friday, Saturday slot forever. When you can figure out how to set up companies and build IP and build shows and build a studio. Like, nah, fam, like let me evolve. Like, it seems like the evolution for black creatives is like, nah, you gotta stay real, fam.
Create jobs for the next generation. Create jobs for every fucking body, but create jobs for the next generation, most importantly. Because you will eventually no longer be here. But will your machine continue to be here?
Will it continue to be here and continue to run? Are your systems in order? Reading the E-Myth right now, finishing up the email.
Which email are you reading?
I'll show the revised. I'll send it to you.
The revised.
It's hella confusing. It's hella different.
Because there's different, yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you. It's the revised version. Yeah. But there's a segment in there, G, where they talk about McDonald's. Everybody does the same thing to McDonald's. Oh, fuck McDonald's, da 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 da. But nigga, from continent to continent, guess where you can go? And the number 2 is a motherfucking number 2. McDonald's. Their system is flawless. Do you know to be a franchisee in McDonald's, G, it's not just as simple as having the money. You have to go to a training to be a franchisee. You're purchasing a franchise and they go, nah, we have money good, but you got to come to this training. We need you to understand our system, and the only way you can buy in is to commit to this system. Don't get in there and try to freestyle. Hey, my nigga, nah, this system is set up the way it is for a reason. So if you want to be a part of this team, you can buy in and you can buy in. And get the fuck out the way. It's as simple as that. But they developed the system. It's a system. They tighten the screws on the system and they tweak the system, and when they announce the monopoly shit is coming, everybody's getting the monopoly shit. If it's a spicy chicken they added, guess everybody's getting this shit. It's a beautiful thing to consider.
If the McFlurry machine is down, all the McFlurry machines
are down.
Shut them down. Like, you mean everybody? Everybody.
No matter what McDonald's you pull up to, they ain't got no McFlurry.
I have had one of those days, though, going to multiple McDonald's and all the McFlurry machines being down. Like, that's just a staple. Like, that's just something they got.
Nah, they hit the switch. Same switch Drake was talking about in the song?
I got it.
You want a cup of M&M's, bro? We got a cup of M&M's for you.
What?
I'll get you some ice cream from the corner store.
Gee, what's your beef with Disney World, man? I gotta understand.
Bro, have you looked at the latest Disney World commercial?
Gee.
Bro, them going through that with the music in the background and everybody masked up. They're trying to preach and they're trying to get you to understand that it's still the happiest place on earth. That shit don't look too happy, bro.
Gee, what you said, it looked like the happiest place on earth. Look like what?
I mean, it don't look like the happiest place on earth, but it do look like the happiest place for your side family. Like, side family is the motherfucker with the cheese ear to ear, taking hella pictures because you can't confirm his meat.
No, it's 2021, fam. Like, you can't still get the side family off, right?
In Disney World right now, but then they just get an update where the mask can come off outdoors, so.
Nigga, you can barely get the side chick off. Getting the side family off in 2021 is fucking crazy. I'm just gonna say it. I'm sorry.
I mean, you could do it throughout 2020. So you got a short window to get to know your other kid.
Gee, niggas had a family on this block and a family on that block.
Bro, you know what I was just watching? The Hereditary video for Jid. And what was very posing in that shit was that polarizing in that shit was in the early parts when she was a little kid and her mother was about to wash the clothes of her dad and the paper falls out. Bro, why would niggas back then have the phone number on the paper plus the address to where they about to meet up at?
Nigga, you got to. Can't send the location in 1963. What?
Buddy, so you just got all that in the last jeans you wore?
Hey, look here.
In your work clothes?
Let me. Hey, put your phone number and your address.
Bro, led her to the doorstep, nigga, where you cheat at. That was the only way to get caught. Otherwise, you were having the time of your life. Niggas back then wanted to go through that type of shit. There's no other way. To get caught up that way, there's no other way.
Gee.
You know you got some shit that ain't about to go through divorce, nigga. Divorce is too goddamn expensive.
It's too much work.
It's too expensive.
Okay, you can goddamn leave if you want to.
My nigga, we got a house that we got a 30-year mortgage.
We got a 30-year loan. You're not going nowhere. No. See, that's sicko shit. When you go, yeah, I had a whole family on you, so what? Where you going? Your name is on the deed. You can't leave.
My nigga, we are 8 years into the 30, bro. You going nowhere.
You're not going. And then the other person goes, you know what? You're right.
I mean, you could kick me out. For how long are you gonna be good on that? 2 months before you need me to come back? Before you need my half back in?
Before you need our joint incomes.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't so middle class out there by yourself. Huh? Can we get back to the good old days?
Hey, those conversations was sick, boy.
Yeah, hey, I bring home the bacon. Like,
bro, because if those couples have the luxury of getting to 70s and 80s, the way that they speak, because there's no longer fucking involved.
No.
So it's literally exactly how you feel at all times from opposite rooms. Yeah. Y'all don't even live in the same room no more.
Not sharing a room.
Y'all shout down the hall from each other all the shit that y'all been y'all had pent up over the last 25 years.
By the time all that shit happened, they wishing you got another bitch. I hope. Hey, go find the bitch. Actually, get away from me.
Have her take you off my hands.
I'm tired.
I would rather not see you this week. How about that? What about my other? I'm been waiting for my other nigga to come over for the longest.
That is so.
He's so young and strong.
You know,
that is so funny. You guys are sick. Getting off the side family in 2021. No way that's still happening.
Bro, they at Disneyland right now.
Mask on.
They got about what is it? They got about 2 more weeks, bro. So.
Damn, I feel sorry for the one nigga that don't get the memo, and then somebody walks up, sir, you know you can take the mask off.
Nope.
You trying to outwalk that person?
Nope. Hey, just take the mask. No.
Cause you know Disney World trying to shoot the new video where they ain't got the mask on, cause there's a nigga out here that told them about the shit I done said. Shit don't look too happy, bro.
That damn Michael Che. Please tell me y'all watching it.
I haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it.
I just remember you just talked about it.
So, are we SNL fans in here? No? Yes? Maybe? No?
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes, right? The highlight of SNL is whenever Michael Che does the report.
Yeah.
The weekly update. But I've been trying to figure out what was his own content, own show gonna look like. And it's absolutely brilliant. Like, I'm excited for you guys to watch it and just to see the structure of it.
I know what I'm watching tomorrow.
Oh, we got the off day. We got day off.
We got a little off day.
Yeah, let's say. But it's like reality meets sketch meets it's crazy. It's great. It's kind of how I felt about watching Bad Trip, the Eric Andre movie. Because that's like, it's Borat, but not for real. It's Jackass, but not for real. They just executed that shit really, really well. And so that damn Michael Che, I'm interested to see how other people feel about it, because it's just really, really smart. And I hate when comedy gets prefaced that way. Because for as intelligent as Dave and Neil are, I think of Dave and Neil and what they did with the Chappelle Show as like they be Sada Baby. Sada Baby clearly is like brilliant and can like rap his ass off, but just because we're that smart, we gonna come fuck some shit up and just make the most ignorant shit possible. And if you listen, and you can see all the brilliance in it. Fucking that damn Michael
Che. Sketch.
It's sketch, but it's like serious. It's almost.
Is he no longer? What's the name of SNL? Or this is just separate?
Nah, he's still there. Just separate. This is just something separate. Nah, he's still there though.
I can say that I am very appreciative of Michael Che's stand-up.
Yeah.
So like he's one of the better stand-up people that people don't really talk about.
Yeah.
But I love his delivery.
Same.
Like he does an amazing job at delivering his jokes.
The last one he did, I was in tears laughing so hard.
Yeah, so I can only imagine what a show for him would be, because I feel like it'll be well fucking thought out.
I don't know if I want to cover the show. It made me sad though. How they got the confession from Pop Smoke's killer.
How'd they get it?
I was just about to ask that.
Prison informant. The nigga confessed everything to a plant, essentially. Like they planted an informant to get the story out of him, and it was essentially just for a watch. Like they killed that nigga for a watch, bro. Like the robbery wasn't supposed to go that way.
Damn.
So again, another young, bright star murdered for absolutely nothing.
It was because they didn't expect him to fight back.
Pretty much, it reeks of a setup.
And it was young bros too. So.
They're babies. The getaway driver was old, and the kids that got sitting there were kids.
Yeah, so they ain't even had a chance to really get in any of those situations, knowing that a nigga would potentially fight back in that situation.
Oh, I was gonna say the worst thing, so I'll shut up.
What?
No, just back in the day, this is gonna make me sound old as fuck. But when you did certain crimes, they used to this is gonna sound weird, but pair you up. So there would be an older nigga that would go in with the two younger niggas. The older nigga would kind of watch over, so you know what to do in there. It's like, and I know this whole, I know that sounds fucking many and crazy as fuck to say like this, but it kind of,
That's context.
so that way you understand how you move in there, so
I think it's supposed to go.
So it does go smooth.
Yeah.
Because like when you do a home invasion, the plan is not to kill anybody. It's just to get what you're trying to get.
Get the fuck out of there.
And get the fuck out of there. Because it's like you're already doing so much. I don't want to have to do this. I might want to hurt you a little bit if this tension rose. And it's just when he said the old nigga sits in the car and just sends the three youngs. Yeah. That's it.
I mean, that part I don't see. I get what you're saying, Lex, and I think that's like that would be like the 101, like how it should go if there was still infrastructure in the street shit.
Yeah.
I think now the OG term is used very lightly.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? If you're older than someone else, then you're an OG. You know, so but it doesn't really map out to actual experiences.
Yeah.
So if a nigga is if you the old nigga and you the getaway driver and you just with young niggas, then you're expecting to, I'm thinking the expectation is that if this shit go bad, I'm leaving these little niggas.
Gotcha.
Like, I can't have it be a young nigga and a young nigga take off because I haven't built enough respect amongst these young niggas yet. Like, I don't talk to these niggas for real. I give these niggas assignments. You know what I mean? It ain't no like taking
suicide missions.
Exactly,
suicide
exactly. It's not taking it's not taking somebody on their wing. I don't expect them.
Yeah. Your life is over.
I don't expect them
it's
to.
A kamikaze mission.
Basically. I mean, it's high risk, high reward.
Is it high reward for real? A watch?
No.
I mean, not a watch, no, but you know.
That's
if you stumble across something, that's probably the idea behind having young niggas going there is that you're going for a watch, but what if y'all come across something else?
Even still, G, like selling dope.
Yeah.
After the cost of doing business, unless you're a kingpin. Or unless you're the supplier to that whole area, unless you move and wait for real, you may as well go work at McDonald's.
Yeah, so it's basically check to check.
It's check to check. It's stupid. It really is stupid. But
a lot of risk.
It's a lot of risk, and the reward ain't adding up. The profit margins ain't adding up for what it could cost you. Your whole life, somebody potentially dying, you potentially murdering somebody, your family being in danger. Like it just doesn't make any sense. And this ain't high horse preaching nobody. It's just like we gotta reevaluate shit and make other shit fly. Killing somebody over a watch, bro, is never gonna be fly. It's not. But the way things are shaping up.
So it's possible then that they was looking for the money from the money phone too. Like the watch makes sense. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I think they're
looking for all of that.
Yeah, but I think that's what the watch sounds good. But I think that's what they was looking for, the quick cash that you're not able to.
Cole says it though. Don't stop rapping about nigga you own and you lit and your car is about to get repoed. Or you sleeping on the car, you literally faking it like rap about the struggle shit. So then the niggas who like then it creates this barrier and this buffer like yo this shit ain't sweet. You know how long it take to be up and be in the black as opposed to being in the red. Poe told me he just started reading the Rick Ross book. I was hella juke. I read that shit and hadn't been. You read it too, G, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like we talked about it and had nobody else. But nigga Ross is like the nigga who's investing in me is flying me down to the studio. But I'm too proud to ask for some bread. Them niggas sleeping in the hotel. I'm sleeping in a dually. Got the tags on the clothes still because I want to look fresh, but I'm taking them shits right back. This is rosé. So this rap shit ain't sweet for real. Ain't nobody making no fucking money off no rap music. Oh yeah, it's going down.
Bro, that's a mainy conversation.
What we did it, y'all. We hit everything. Y'all we miss anything? Per use. Hey, you guys.
Oh, I got a quick question for you guys. So. Cole drops. Who do you guys feel is next?
Out of the big names?
Out of the big names.
I don't think Dot is happening. Not the way everybody else is thinking and waiting for. I feel like Dot's a little further out.
I think Drake waiting for June.
Drake, Future, they're waiting for the world to open. I believe that for sure. I see a Future record coming. I see a big Future record coming because he got low, right? Like.
Yeah, he just been chilling with the chick.
So Future's coming for sure. Drake is on the way. Those are the. Who else matters? I know it's gonna be sick for me even putting Future in that realm, but I do. I put him in that class, like to make the meter move and the world kind of stop when some music gets dropped. Everybody got to talk about it. Cole came and delivered. I think Gambino's probably hovering around in there somewhere to do something.
Yeah, Lil Baby and Dirk. They got some up their sleeve, but that's gonna be more summer shit. Yeah. I think we'll get a lot more shit coming in June.
Yeah,
I think June
it's gonna be a flood.
Hot month.
It's gonna be a flood. I wish I would have talked about this at the top of the show. So shout out to Jennifer Johns. I absolutely love you. An incredible artist, incredible singer. The way she shows up for the art community is just so beautiful. So she texts me. She's like, "Bro, I'm doing a lawn front yard performance in the town, so in the neighborhood." I'm like, "Oh, I got time. I can go by, say what's up, and then get back to the pod on time." I get there. She's like, "Yo, come on, let's pray." So I go pray with her in the band, and then she's like, "Yo, I got another set, so I'm gonna do this, do that." Hey, Monty, you want to rock the intro? I'm like, okay. Dog. These people are sitting in lawn chairs in the driveway across the street from the house we're performing on the lawn in front of. And they are clapping and going, "Thank y'all so much." The gratitude was crazy. And I kept telling myself, I was like, yo, this might be the best thing that ever happened to music. Like, had to have it taken away so that it can be appreciated for real.
That's real.
So if you didn't like going to shows, there's people that I know despise going to shows that are like, I can't wait to go to a show. You didn't like going to shows. It was like, yo, the idea of never being able to go to one again changed that for me. So artists and creators, it is upon us now that we have the attention again, it is on us to really cultivate an experience, to really make effort, to rehearse, to practice, to learn, to troubleshoot, but to also know what a privilege it is to be able to be up in front of people and express that way. Like, that shit's really a privilege, man. And the way those people were like, and these were like middle-aged black folks that were like going, I'm up there rapping, bro. They're like, nah, thank you. I'm like, damn, this is wild. So Jen, shout out to you, Dame Drummer. Mike Blankenship, Ben. Man, it's just beautiful. I needed to say that real quick. Just on the topic of like the world opening and how shit is about to move.
Oh yeah, and then great fucking job, Georgia Smith. You did your thing with that fucking album, man. It's 8 songs, but every single one of them is potent. You know what I mean? So that's the
G sent that immediately.
What?
Sent that immediately. Like, yep.
Bro, tell me that wasn't the conversation. Like she literally like it was almost as if we was on the same wave that day. Because Money had just got done talking about that little tidbit, and then she was talking about that shit in
the concept,
in 45 seconds.
In the concept of a song, yeah.
So that means other people is also thinking about that, Money. That's what's up.
Yeah. I credit you and Poe specifically though. You guys were the nudge to make the commitment to being outside amongst the people. It's like, yo, just trust how that's going to impact the pen in the process.
For sure.
And it's changed everything. Like, you can't be for the people and not be with the people. Like, it don't work like that. So, but I got that from the guys. I can honestly say that. With that, thank y'all so much. Special circumstances. We recorded on a Saturday. Love. Just didn't want to miss the show. Didn't want to not tap in and talk to you all. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to growth. Looking forward to sharing the plans and intentions of the show, and I am hopeful that all podcasters, all creators, are using this time to learn and get educated on where the podcast industry is headed, how to protect yourselves, how to protect your friends, how to protect your partners, how to have transparent conversations in and around business. Understanding what that looks like, understanding what scaling looks like it's a real opportunity for us to learn and get better and to be accountable for shit. It was a really dope thing to sort of measure up and look at it and put Meet the Brave up against a Joe Budden podcast and go, I see everybody's side. I do. I wholeheartedly do, G. I see everybody's side.
Oh no.
Ultimately, what was forgotten though is how important us coming together and showing up and how valuable everybody's contribution is. Oh man, them niggas can't. The show must go on. Yes, absolutely. The show must go on. But fair business practices and I don't really.
It didn't have to get to that.
I don't really fuck with the word fair, but in the context of this, it's like, hey, this is what's being presented, and we still don't know what's true, but it does feel like friendships are over. In the name of what? Something that isn't, back to your initial point, is something that ain't real. And I want to get in this.
Yeah, and we can't get it twisted that money is one thing, and money, you can always make money. I don't think people is so much. I mean, Rory's hard on the money right now. Maul is a different. I'm more in the Maul stance. Like, it's just how you get a vibe. You get a vibe on like how people interact with you and how they really feel about you.
Yeah.
And once that happens, you can't unsee it or unfeel that. You know what I'm saying? So like, it doesn't matter what somebody says to you. Like what they say in your face, it's how they treat you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, if there's friction, then there ain't none of this, bro. I'm sorry, podcasting. You cannot come into a podcast and there be friction and think that that's just gonna be easy on the listener's ear.
Listener's ear on you, exhausting. It's like it's a space of showing up because you want to show up, and that's the other thing I wanted to say too. It's like, while the JBP comparisons are easy, like it's not. Like my 180 on Schultz is so disgusting. I get annoyed.
Hey, Monty, I was gonna let you say it.
I'm sorry, G.
I was gonna let you say it.
Salute Frager too. Salute Schultz and that whole crew. Like, model. If you're gonna model yourself after something like that. Model yourself after something like loudspeakers and what they built. Like, really build in with the intent of scaling. And that means empowering everyone and supporting everyone. Like, every L and Lex have projects that they're about to embark on that I am praying that I get a call to be a part of it. Vice versa, I have projects that I absolutely need them to be a part of because there's a thread that exists. There's an ecosystem that exists. Nigga, if the bag presents itself in another area, come on, bust that down and let's get another one. Let's get another one. And it's something that isn't prevalent and it isn't discussed, and there isn't really a blueprint on how to do it. Amongst black men is what they tell us, but I know a lot of black men getting money together and doing it well, might add. So let's dead all that narrative and have a different conversation.
And I get that overall we are all new to this, but do not allow that to make you forget where you started and where you come from. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Like, for you to get so far ahead and think about shit that you don't have yet is beyond me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for that to ever be a mentality instead of just doing the work. And of course having foresight, because you have to believe in your shit before anybody else does. But you cannot start counting chips that you don't have yet.
Absolutely.
And then realize that, nigga, that shit is, it comes in it can come in multiple different ways. So like, it's more so about, can you create a vibe while getting?
Absolutely.
You know, that shit sound lit to me.
Me too. With that, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. We will see y'all next week. It's been another episode of the Meet the Break Pod.
Love, love.
Yes.